Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the JAREKBRIAN Show. My name is Jarek, and on today we have an amazing guest coming on the show. We have Swaggins from Mongrels by Valkry. Swaggins, how are you doing today, sir?
Hello, your name is Jarek. My name is Brian, and this is the JAREKBRIAN Show. And that's when you cue the saxophone and
yeah,
lights.
Bill Clinton's playing the saxophone.
Yeah, just so you guys know, we have the team from the Pink Floyd Laser Light Show. They're on the payroll, and they will be doing the light show for our new intro to the JAREKBRIAN Show.
Oh,
by the way, I'm Brian.
Oh, how's it going, man? And I want to say thank you for coming on my show. You guys are one of my favorite projects that I'm into right now, and you guys have been so wonderful and welcoming, and I love the spaces that we are all in, and I love the, just the banter and everything like that has been just amazing. And I'm glad I found you guys, because I actually had given up on NFTs. I was actually close to giving up, and I found you guys. We all vibed. I love it. But before we get into all that, and before we get into all the great things that Mongrels by Valkry has, Swaggins, go ahead and tell me your introduction into Web3 and like how did you get all the way here? Because you have a very interesting story, and my audience would love to hear it.
Absolutely, Jarek. That's a good question. It's relevant. We all want to figure it out. Usually it's similar between most of us that come over to the dark side. But before we do that, can you tell me why we're wearing Sherpa-lined jean jackets inside in the summer?
Well, a trait that was named by you, right? It was a trait inspired by you, the swag jacket. And I saw this. Now, granted, I paid a tiny fortune in this. I kind of mortgaged my house and everything like that. And trust me, guys, like, don't ask how much it was. If you have to ask, you can't afford it. This is albino,
straight facts,
grizzly bear fur, right? And this is right here. This is actually from the kimono dragon right here. We have a kimono dragon skin.
Where, right there where you put your finger? Like right
yes,
there?
all this right here is made from a real kimono dragon, right? Actually, I want to say it was the kind of the family from the dragons from Game of Thrones too as well. I think they were it was from that same family tree. And like I said, guys, a pretty penny. And my testosterone levels have soared through the roof ever since putting this thing on. So Swaggins, you're the originator of this, and I want to say thank you, even though mine's better. And I do appreciate you for this sweet trait.
Hey, yeah, congratulations. Honestly, it looks great on you. I was saying in the green room before this, while we were doing crack cocaine off of a single mom's ass.
Yep.
I basically said to Jarek, I am amazed that they were able to make that in your size. Because Hulk size, I mean, we're in a recession in the U.S., basically a silent recession if you're not from around here, if you haven't been around the Twitter sphere, X sphere, whatever. So to get that much material on that much man, sheesh, that's something else. But yeah, man, the swag jacket, this is, it's a trait in the Mongrels NFT PFP collection, one of our collections. We have two collections as an entity, as a project, as a company. And we'll talk more about that after I introduce to you my introduction into the space per your question. But yeah, I want to take this off because I'm sweating. And,
no,
but I'm
rocking this thing the whole time.
You have to, man. It's just what you got to do to keep me here. I'll be honest. Got my OJ Simpson isotoners in the inside pocket. Yep. You always have to be prepped and ready for all circumstances. Got the time on my wrist. We're doing good. Yeah, my name is Swaggins. I've been in this space now since 2021, early February, March. A buddy of mine got me into crypto through some consulting work I did for him. And Cardano just so happened to be the network that he was an enthusiast of and playing around with. And so that's where I got my introduction, outside of obviously knowing about Bitcoin and Ethereum, but just never having touched it because I was outside of this realm of degeneracy, if you will. But that changed. It all changed. We don't have time for that story. Maybe next time, Jarek. And you'll have to put a trigger warning at the beginning. I know you've been wanting to show that off. By the way, I'm kind of disappointed you didn't wear the fishnet tee underneath the swag jacket that we had talked about.
Amazon was on back order.
Listen.
There's some guy named Kenny was buying them all up. And yeah, man, just goddamn Kenny.
Yeah, Kenny is damming up the rivers in the wilderness where he lives on his mountain, and he's going to catch all the fish he needs for the winter. But another story for another time. Maybe you'll meet Kenny B someday. He's our head of community over at Valkry, and Valkry by Mongrels. He's a G. Our founder's name is Render. He's a G. We'll get more into that as well later. But anyways, back to the future of the past. I came into it. I was a stake pool operator on Cardano. We're a proof of stake, or it's a proof of stake network. So everybody works together through staking to decentralize and run the network and transactions and validate, etc. And you get rewards, and it's liquid. You can move it around however you want. It's not locked up. You get your rewards. It's pretty dope every 5 days. So anyways, I was a stake pool operator for a little bit, basically mission driven for charity. And I was working with a group of guys, including the guy that onboarded me, to try and do that and be sustainable. And then I moved into NFTs to basically say like, hey, I want to build my bag up. NFTs are pretty dope right now. This is a bull market still. I didn't know that the hurt and pain was coming. I didn't know that the 99%, red line on my portfolio was coming. I thought, the 8 to 20 grand a day gains were going to last forever, and that's why you hold. But anyways, so I got into NFTs on Cardano. Then I started to be like, you know what? I really like it here. Maybe I can support some projects other than just being like an enthusiast of the projects and flipping. And then I started moderating. What's really unique about Web3 is that moderators get paid, which is really cool. I'm not sure if it's like that across chains, but on Cardano it is, and it makes sense because these are like employees for startup companies, if you will, or startup projects. And so I did some modding, made some connections. Then I started to community manage for a big project on chain called Chilled Kongs at the time on Cardano. And I did that for a while, and then I moved on from that into project managing and consulting and project advising, and then I wound up landing here at Valkry and Valkry by Mongrels through some connections and through the journey along the way, which has been awesome, which is what I love most about Web3, is that through creative collaboration and through just hanging out and being enthusiastic over an idea or a technology or gains, quick gains, flips, all that stuff. Like, it was just a great culture that I really fell in love with. And that's why I'm still here a little over 2 years later. I'm a glutton for punishment, but I really enjoy it. And I see a huge future for this technology. And I see the people that are here and this Web3 thing that we have going on being a large impact on the culture and how the culture moves forward.
Yeah. And from what I understand, that kind of like the rumor mill and everything like that, you're a part of the on the Chill Kong's team, right? And you're the one of the main people that ran away with all the money, correct?
That is incorrect. The person who did that, his name is his name. You're directly related to him. He's your twin brother, and we don't talk about him, but you brought it up, so hey.
Yeah. But
talk about a can of words, Jarek.
Hey, I had to you were giving me a hard time and to give you a little hard time, but no, Swagger, that's great. And your energy that you kind of bring to the community and how welcoming you were and everything like that, and it was amazing. And talk to me about kind of how is Mongrels and Valkry, how are they different but the same, or actually interconnected?
Yeah, sure. So Jarek mentioned that I work. I think you mentioned all this, right? That I work for this project. And did you mention any of that? Did you intro?
I thought you did. You did say.
I introed, but did you intro why you have me here and what project I work for and what you hold?
Because
and, why you're trying to pump your bag because you over leveraged yourself by a lot and you want the deals to do something.
All my money is in this jacket right now, so all my hopes and dreams are on this jacket. But...
Oh, great! So you took $225 for a ride on a new jacket, but not the incline.
Nope.
Am
for this interview for you, man. I did this for you.
Less bullish.
But Swaggins, well, Okay, before you go into that, what is exactly your role with Mongrels by Valkry?
Yeah. So currently, I mean, it's kind of an umbrella of things if you've ever worked for a startup company, but I guess in the terms of an NFT project, the terms that we understand about NFT projects, I'm a project manager or the project manager for Valkry and Mongrels by Valkry, excuse me. And so we have some community leads. We have Skyfucker, who runs our Discord community, and he's a homie, really well spoken dude, um, uh, super smart. Same with Kenny B. He's our head of community across socials. Runs a lot of spaces. Hilarious. Smart dude, very creative snowboarder, shredder, totally lives the lifestyle of the brand that we're creating, which is Valkry. It's a skate lifestyle brand. And then we've got Render, who's the founder and the creator of the brand itself. He created this over a year ago, well over a year ago now. And started building, and then in January we released as a project on the Web3 side of things. And so yeah, that's the team, that's the core team right there. We've got some other advisors, etc. Great mod. His name I can't remember. I think it changed or he retired, so I can't mention him, but shout out to his memory.
I like that local guy.
Yeah, local. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think he's related. Yeah.
Yeah, he was what a standout guy, and I'm sorry that I don't know what happened to him. I don't know.
Shout out
now
to
we got
local.
Yeah, and now we have like this weird kind of guy. Was it Dominatrix? Was it what's his name?
Couldn't tell you, man. I don't.
Yeah, Domino or what's I don't know. I think it was like it's a comic book. I don't know.
Domino. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's an okay guy, but he's kind of creepy or whatever. He beats up homeless men. But what I was saying though, with the whole Mongrels by Valkry, kind of just explain, like I said, like the difference and like kind of like what you guys kind of like represent too as well. If you can kind of get on that track.
Yeah, absolutely. So Valkry is our project, is our company. It's a skate lifestyle brand, like I had mentioned. And to keep it short and simple for you, basically it's a Web 2 brand that we're building. And if you're familiar with Supreme, the clothing brand, kind of inspired by skating, you've got that, the New York streets type. But there's fashion connected to that, and high-end fashion, and also limited supply. Highly valuable based on the appeal of that marketing style, right? And they don't have any real physical locations. They might have some pop-up shops. They may be featured on some online sites or in some stores, but they're curated or purchased or consigned or whatever. That's very similar to what we're going for, but we took an approach to the Web3 side of things because we're all in Web3, and Render, our founder, has been in Web3 for a very long time. And he wanted to kind of see if he could create a model as a businessman and entrepreneur, and a successful one at that, to take his endeavors to taking an idea for Web 2 and saying, how can I apply this as an on-ramp to Web 3? And he did that by saying, we're going to build a community. And that's why we released an initial founders deck collection of 222 pieces that people could get as early adopters and supporters of the brand and the project. And there's a lot of stuff baked into owning that, including tangible claimables. Like we've sent out, at least 100 skateboards at this point, I'd say, skateboard decks, all high quality, high source. That's what it's about. Like my man JAREKBRIAN said a moment ago, if you have to ask about the quality, then you can't afford it. But yeah, basically it's based on all that hype beast kind of style of like highly collectible, limited supply, exclusive drops, and that's the Web 2 side. That's Valkry, and Valkry is our main company, and that's what we're focusing on. But the PFP project, the NFT side for y'all degens out there, is our dogs. And our dogs are 2,999 dogs, and they are our community. They're the Web3. And so that was the bridge that he wanted, was to say, hey, I can create a community in Web3 and see how I can adopt some of the principles and concepts of Web3 we really like to do the damn thing a little bit different, and to be beside a brand as it grows and see perks and see value. And our real main goal here is to give value back, and to create that skate lifestyle brand where you don't necessarily have to skate. I think skateboarding, you can tell me about this, Jarek. I think skateboarding is very much part of culture now, like subculture, pop culture.
Oh yeah.
As just a thing, like style, etc.
Oh yeah.
But there's a real core to it too that's raw, and it's like fuck the man and you know, punk and stuff like that. And so there's both of those sides to it for us, at its core, and we really love what we're doing, and we're excited about where we're headed, and I'll talk more about that.
No, yeah, and like I said, it was such. He almost did it he went reverse on it, like too as well. He already had a company, instead of being the other way around, like, hey, mint out this NFT project, build a company. And, you know, I just thought that was like really amazing. He talks about it all the time, that, you know, he wanted to be kind of like different and everything like that. And he's incorporating a strong Web 2 presence, but also kind of building this Web 3 presence too as well. And he's merging them kind of together. And I think that's just really smart, because I do believe that projects that actually have a strong Web 2 connection will be the ones that kind of like, I don't say kind of make it, but like be the most successful. So kind of like, what's your kind of opinion on that, about projects that have like that Web 2 like kind of footing? Do you believe that that's something that should be not so much required though, but as a good sign that project's going to do well?
I'd say I think you're onto something. I think that a lot of the times, like, maybe you have these little flags in your head, green flags and red flags, where when you look at a project, there are certain things that you like, all right, there's 5 of them, and you're like, if it hits these 5, then it's golden, or like you kind of have strategies around that. I think that's changed a lot, and it's changing quick, and even maybe a little silently for some people, because it's the bear market and who's around and what are people distracted by while things are changing. But I think the things you have to look for have definitely changed and are changing from what it was. It used to be like, all right, team, art, website, roadmap, white paper. It's just like, what does all that really mean? Right. Yeah. Exactly. So in our case, we're looking at this, like, call it a Gen 2, you know, call it looking towards the future, understanding that things cannot sustain. They're clearly not sustaining, and they won't be the same. It's not going to turn around and be exactly the same as it was to hit that grift again. Maybe in 10 years when people forget, I don't fucking know. But generally speaking, we consider Gen 2 to be that next layer. And Gen 2 is not necessarily Web 2, right? But it's people that understand that it's a business you're creating. You may be crowdfunding money or a cash infusion to like build out the next stage. But people have to consider more, and people will be considering more. And the projects that will be successful are the ones that understand to varying degrees. And you'll understand by this illustration is like Shark Tank, man. You don't go on Shark Tank having no proof of concept, no capital earned. I mean, some people will, right? And they may, it's just margins of whether or not it's going to work out for you. But you have to prove you've made some money off this concept. You have to prove this concept works or how it's going to work before you ask for money. And then when you ask for that money, you have to be very specific about what you want that money for and how you're going to use it. And then further than that, you have to actually deliver on those things. And so that's a big sandwich of reality and how Web 2, as you said, works, and how corporate America works and private markets work and business works. And so that's what we're looking at it as. And that's the experience we have. You know, Valkry's fully capitalized. It's been capitalized by our founder since the beginning. So for over a year, and he's put a lot of money into it, and he's done what he's needed to do. And so therefore, he understands there's so many variables there. And so I don't want to get stuck on a tangent about all that stuff. So I'll stay at the surface, and I'll say projects in the future you need to be looking for, and currently, ones that have a past experience in business, some viable connection to that you can see that there was a deliverable or value there, or with the current business, some sort of a past or current or future plan that is viable, makes sense, and look at the track record. Most people don't want to because you're just here to flip, but we're also trying something different at Valkry. And the whole point of that is that, in essence, you get more value for being for holding the project than for selling the project. And that should make sense in a bear market, dude. Like if it doesn't, then you're thick. I don't know what you're fucking doing out there, but yeah, man, we have a different mentality on it. We're trying to future proof this. We're all, even on the team, people that understand that it's a long game, that this is business. We're here to win. We're here to do what we want to do, and do our best at it, and adapt and overcome, and fuck around and find out, and create some really dope, high quality shit that you might really enjoy. Like this right here is it's a team.
I like that
skateboard. You'll never get one. But you might get
everyone has a price
style, but generally speaking, we're really excited about what we have coming up, and that's a little bit about us as a clothing lifestyle brand, and what brings us here, why we're here, what we see, and where we're headed. So
yeah, and like I said, that's why I like you guys. I like you guys checked off all the boxes. I'm nobody important, right? But I was like, man, these guys have actually got a good, solid plan. And Render's like a very out in front like type of guy. I mean, he's on Spaces, and that's like kind of like one of the things that was kind of really shocking to me, kind of too, is that in the last kind of like bull run I was in, like maybe about 2 years ago, it was very rare that you had founders like on Spaces in Discord chatting with people. It was, like I said, it was super, super rare. Like you'd get them maybe once every couple months. They come make an appearance and they just jet out again. And no, I said I love what you guys got going on. And as far as the clothing part, and of course I will go into the PFP part, but on the clothing part too as well. When you guys when you guys are going to think about kind of like releasing any kind of clothing, or have you done so kind of already?
Yeah. So we've released a few items, mainly skateboard decks. A lot of it's been redeemed, at no cost really, other than shipping worldwide to our holders. And we have some gear claim tokens from our founders holders, and we've been dropping some of that. We keep things very close to the chest. None of y'all need to see this shit until we're ready for you to see it. We're dropping our catalog on the 5th of November. So you'll be able to see some of those items then. And then shortly after that, our season 1 proof of concept collection will be dropping and will be live. And there's a lot of stuff that I could say how Mongrels holders are connected to that, etc. But we'll go into that. Yeah. You can also come into the Discord, and we have people that can answer that. Jarek can certainly help out as well. I mean, but I wouldn't trust him too much. His words get jumbled sometimes. He's a meathead,
100%.
And you know what? But that's the thing. It's like
we all play a role.
We all just meet at the end of the day.
Yeah. We all play a role. We all have our roles for that. And your decks are pretty impressive decks. You have a very impressive deck.
Thank you.
Who did the artwork for the decks?
Render did. So
Render really?
Also, he did the art for the Mongrels PFPs as well. So not only he's a Renaissance man, if you will.
I see. Oh, and also, like I noticed, there's a Raven. Why Raven?
The Raven is because of Render's Norse roots. And so he likes the imagery. He likes the he resonates with all that clearly, and you'll see it throughout the current works and future works. So that's why also Valkry is the name of the brand, Valkry, and it's spelt an old way that isn't the way they spell it anymore. But Render is he's a simple man, but he's very into a lot of cool stuff, and he knows a lot of cool stuff, and he does a lot of cool stuff. And so, speaking of that stuff, again, we're dropping our first collection on the 13th, and we'll be able to show some people, and we're excited about it. And before then, we've got a Rocket League competition for our homies coming up. We're gonna play for some prizes, and that'll be fun. So, hey, if you're around and you watch the JAREKBRIAN show, one of you 8 people, come on through and ask some questions. We're happy. But this is the thing too. We've got that underlying skate mentality where it's like, listen, you don't want to fuck with us. You don't fuck with us, because we're gonna keep providing value, and inevitably, that's what it is. It's about locals only, and so if you ain't local, you ain't with it.
Yeah, and I do. All 8 of my viewers really appreciate that. 2 of those viewers being my parents. So I have a big audience.
Say hi to your mom for me. It's been a while.
So so like you said Raven, right? And you said that he's really into that, right? So why actually this kind of goes into the PFP realm of it too as well. Why did he choose a dog? Why not a raven? What's the lore with the dog?
Oh, the dogs for why mongrels? Why?
Yes.
Yeah. So
correct.
mongrels, basically mongrels because mongrels are basically mixed breed dogs, right? And Web3 is a mixed bag of a bunch of different people, and we love dogs. People do cat PFPs all the time. I think they're more popular. They're easier, I guess one could say, from an artist perspective, to make cute, draw, as Render has said in some of our spaces we've run, etc. But yeah, dogs named mongrels because of that, and dogs because Dogtown. And so if you're familiar with skate history and where skateboarding came from, then you know about Dogtown. Lords of Dogtown, good movie if you haven't seen it. That'll give you kind of like a nice fluffy overview of what I'm talking about. That era in history in Southern California, and where skateboarding was basically born. And so that's why dogs, and that's why mongrels.
That's great. No, and with the different traits on the mongrels and everything like that, I mean, it was very unique, and I was like, man, this is really, really, really good art. And I saw like the different like teasers you guys dropped, and I was like, man, it was like, dogs are really kind of hard to do, and you guys did them really, really well. And I was like, man, this was really, really sweet. And of course, everybody loves freaking dogs, right? And as far as like going back to the whole minting process, and you guys coming on here and minting out on Cardano and everything like that, and it was a fun time. I don't know if you recall. I mean, you were there, right? With your stupid damn D-Dog damn thing that you would always like freaking scare us with. No, man, that was a very fun time, and it was a great way to kind of like build like community and everything like that. And I just love the vibe that the mongrels have. And as far as like the different traits, like, of course, we already know about the swag jacket. Can you talk about like some of the other traits too, and some of the perks of those traits?
Yeah, so what Jarek's talking about is, how some of our traits are connected to certain utilities within our project. It's very much about tangible, and that's another thing, just really quickly to say about what we were talking about earlier, is if you look at your project that you love, or a project that you want to get into, and you see that they've been around for a while, or you're speculating, on they're new and whatever, but look at the ones that have been around for a while. What have they actually done? What have they given? Other than like price go up, what have they done? What have they given? Very easy thermometer on whether or not to buy in, and what your purposes for buying in will all are obviously, the point before you actually apply this strategy is like, all right, do you just want to flip? All right, then it doesn't fucking matter. Like, if you see that things are moving, then do what you got to do. But ultimately look at what they have done tangibly to provide value, whether like outside of even just price go up, because what does that even matter in this market where you can make $20, maybe a day, a week? I don't know, Jarek, when's the last time you made $20?
I haven't made $20 in a very long while. I'm down bad.
We're down bad, man. Like I said, it's just a red line, but it's okay. We've got friends. WAGME. We're all going to be down bad together. That's what WAGME stands for. We're all going to be down bad together. So, what were we talking about? We were talking about Radeon.
Yeah, of course. And
the difference between the traits. Yeah. So the traits basically, some of them are for physical items. There was a pill trait. We called it
You
pill
get free
popper.
fentanyl, right?
Yeah, and you got basically what looked like a skateboard, but you broke it in half, and there were little bags inside of there of niacin. If you know what that is, stay away from it. What are you doing?
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, so you got a free skateboard. You got a little claimable fungible token to claim a skateboard. You got ones where, like, if you had a 3D skateboard deck or glasses, you got claimable. So claimables like that. Also, you have things like, we have giveaways for ADA on certain items. We have, so it's just a matter of they're sub DAOs within our community. One of them is a charity, AIG, and they're basically degenning and flipping from a team wallet to see how much ADA they can make by the end of the year, and then we donate it to charity. So we're just doing a lot of fun stuff and trying
How
things
much has
out.
that made?
Well, it's been slow. I think we're about even right now, or they're about even right now. I am an AIG holder, but I don't really. I just kind of help to derail everything and tell everybody to say yes, and it's working so far. Pretty much every poll that we put up, everybody says yes. I love it. True degens. We're having fun. You got to find. You got
It's
to pick
super
your
fun.
Yeah, you got to.
Oh, it's super fun.
Whenever you show up, it's a little bit more fun. But you don't show up very often. I think it's because you're a big YouTuber now, and you gotta.
All 8 of my viewers need me.
Yep, your new community.
All eight of my viewers need me, and the AIG thing has been great. Of course, the Breakfast Club, right? I guess that's what we're calling it now. That's trying to pop up, and also too it used to be the Dagger DAO, but I think it's the Blade Brigade, which it's starting to grow on me a little bit. No, you guys are very involved with the community, and like I said, and you guys are that's what set you so much like there's so many different community activities. Like you hinted at the Rocket League. Can you kind of go more into that as well? The Rocket League tournament.
Yeah. So we're not necessarily a gaming project, but we understand that there are people within our community that are gaming enthusiasts, and within the broader community that are gaming enthusiasts, as well as on our team. And so we actually opened up as a project when we were going to release, prior to releasing Mongrels, we had a big, I think the biggest gaming competition on Cardano. And we had 12 teams. We invited some of the biggest communities, gave away over almost or close to $10,000 in prizes. And that was our splash to be like, hey, we're minting Mongrels. You want value? Here's value. Let's come together. Check it out. And so this time around, we're running what we're calling our Fall Cup, and it's for Mongrels holders. It's not, at this point like that, it's not going to happen again. In essence, like this is about our holders. This is about people that are in our community. And we obviously gave a little window for people. Hey, if you wanted to come play and you wanted to, buy a Mongrel to come play, come on in. But that's past now. But yeah, so on the 8th, we're going to be having that. We'll have it up on Twitch, live streaming, as well as a nice little companion space, and give away some prizes to the people who are competing, have a little bit of fun, and play Rocket League. Soccer with cars, baby.
It's very interesting, right? And you guys also have other stuff too as well. Like, for instance, the movie nights. Like I said, you guys are very well involved with the community. And anything, you guys have become like a part of my everyday kind of life, man. I can't be without of course Mongrel Monday. Of course Thursdays are Dagger DAO. Even now with the Breakfast Club, and hopping in the Discord and heading into the voice chat. There's somebody always there, and you guys have just become kind of a part of my life. On a kind of a real kind of talk kind of basis. Like I said, each and every single one of you guys. Not so much Overdrip, but But seriously, you guys have it's just an awesome community, but you're an awesome project with utility and actual, you guys are actually trying to accomplish things. And I just love that about you guys. And also too, there's one that we also forgot too, another perk, the money band perk. Can you actually going to go into that too? This is real interesting.
Yeah, I mentioned the giveaway that we give away. One of the perks, one of the traits you get into a giveaway. So money bands is...
and what does that look like?
basically we were running a giveaway for anybody who holds a money bands, which is like, I think what, less than 40 people
Yeah.
hold money bands, and or less than 40 of them in total. But basically the first Wednesday of every month during our bi-weekly Valkry company Twitter spaces, if you will. If I could just explain like that. We do that bi-weekly. We talk about what we're doing with Valkry, where we're at, and answer questions. That's switching platforms here into podcast pre-recorded, so we can kind of up the production quality, try something different for a little while. But ultimately, yeah, the money bands, the first Wednesday of every month, we were doing a giveaway of anywhere between 1,000 and 10,000 ADA for someone who holds a money bands mongrel. We've done 2 of those so far. And yeah, like you said, man, we're constantly around. And I think that's another thing that you'll understand or see about, you know, a business being run as a business, is you have full-time employees, or you can pay talent to be there full-time to varying degrees. And because of that, you know, when you have, it's not just that, like, you have to have the right people as well. It's not just like, all right, well, I pay him. Because it's not, you're not talking about like bull market money, and you're not talking about like, you know, when you're not creating income yet, where you're in a creation phase where you're basically going out of pocket for a lot of things. You're investing a lot. And that's what these people don't understand. Is like when someone says they want to come out and make a video game or these things, it's great that they want to do these things. They crowdsource public funding, and then they're like, well, I can't do this because I don't have enough money or expertise. And then it's like, what can you do? I don't know. And so like, it comes back to like capitalizing these things, and how do you pay your staff, and how do you do this, how do you do that? And because of that, I mean, we've been running basically close to 4, like every other week, 4 shows, but pretty much every week, 3 shows, 3 Twitter spaces a week for 4 months. I haven't missed one yet. And just trying things out, staying consistent, you know, and continuing to push forward, because there's so much that we're excited to reveal. There's so much we're excited to do. And we really love where our community is at this point. We really have a tight knit like group of people, all together, like around like 300 or 400 of us, and we're happy about that. And we're taking every day and every step forward to ensure that those people are our focus. Anybody that's new that wants to come in, great. Our focus has never been on onboarding. The goal of our project isn't to onboard people from Web 2 to Web 3. It's really just to create a Web 2 brand with a Web 3 component that's a community, and to create value for people, and to be able to have a pool of creative individuals who may be a skateboarder, or maybe this, or maybe that, and can basically grow up alongside a brand and have opportunities they wouldn't normally have with, like, say, Vans, or I don't know, PacSun, or Element, or Hurley, or anything like that. Like, so it's really exciting to see how that's going to work out. We've been really enjoying experimenting, and again, we're really focused on the people that are currently here. Anybody that comes in that's new, great. We're excited to meet them and invite them into the family, and see what vibes they can bring to the table, and see if we can't provide value back, etc. But honestly, it's just about the people that we've got, and kind of refining that, and building Valkry the brand. And we're really excited to drop our first proof of concept collection November 13th, again, next month.
Okay, well, I want to definitely go into both
collection, by the way, guys. I don't think I clarified that yet, but I'll clarify here.
Do that now, please.
We're not dropping any more NFT collections for sale.
Nope.
We dropped our Founders collection of 222, and we dropped our PFP collection of 2999. No more. Anything else is airdropped to current holders, and that's that. And so when I say our collection's dropping on November 13th, I'm talking about our first physical collection, which will be available to Web 2 as well. But in essence, our Web 3 holders, basically part of their perks is early access to some of the items, etc. But ultimately, it's a Web 2 portaled website where it's Web 2 facing, and you just go in, and if the item's available that drops, say there's 12 different hats for this collection, and there's 5 of each, or maybe 10 of each, or maybe 50 of each. But generally speaking, you get it. There's a certain limited amount, and that's it. And so they go up, they get sold, they sell out, no more. And it's not merch. It's clothing. It's fashion because of the fact that it is highly sourced. It's fashion because it's based on a model and a lifestyle. And it's fashion because we're creating a brand around that. And it's highly exclusive and collectible. And so, again, we're excited to share that with our holders like Jarek over here and see if he can't afford a buffalo skin pair of pants. Assless chaps, which ironically, chaps are assless, so you don't have to say assless chaps.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you got a point. And actually, no, I never even thought about that. Yeah, you are correct. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you guys are gonna have these collection drops and everything like that, and the catalog is gonna be released. And I can't wait for that, right? But on certain dogs, right, there's certain clothing, right? And I'm still kind of like on the mongrel side, right? But on certain dogs, there's certain clothing that each dog has. Like there's like a poser one, there's like a cardano one. Is there any chance, or there's some glasses, or is there any chance that we could see some of those physical traits dropping in the actual like Valkyrie collection?
Absolutely. I know you wanted me to say more. I was just not going to, but I can't help myself. You're just, you've just got one of those faces. It's like a child's face. You don't want to, I don't want to see your eyes get big and well up with tears again. Like the last time I saw you like that, you had that Britney Spears wig on for Halloween with the ponytails.
Yeah. I was doing the knife thing.
Yeah. And I'll never forget that. I won't forget it because I took a picture of it and I made it the background of my burner phone.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't let your wife see that, please.
Well,
or she probably has. Yeah,
that's just for the squad.
So like, maybe that poser Raglan, maybe.
I couldn't say, but I will say the things that I can say, and those things that I can say are going to be said.
Okay, all right, that was a good one. So the catalog, right?
Yeah.
Now you're saying that catalog will release again. When again? Let's get that again. When?
November, the 5th of November.
And then the drop will happen.
The 13th.
Yeah.
November 13th.
So catalog drop, right? Now, for someone that say, for instance, has like quite a bit of mongrels and whatnot, is this person may get a percentage off, or like, someone that has quite a bit of mongrels, could they get a big, discount? Just throwing it out there.
I would say that when it gets into those details, yes, there are perks built in. We would love it if, like, I mean, I guess I'm on your show right now, and I could answer every little detail about like what's specific, but I could also say, we'd love to have you come through the Discord or have anybody who has questions or is interested in that aspect of stuff, because yes, there are perks that are baked into owning mongrels, and that relates to a certain percentage discount, as well as founders decks have a certain percentage discount, and other perks as well. So yeah, and some of those clothing items, I can say, other than that little bad joke that I said earlier, basically wanted to practice some just dusting the cobwebs off my dry pan comedy, and I don't know, I can't do it as good as Render. You guys that know Render will know. I mean, he's just great at dry pan and or deadpan. It's dry pan to me, but it's deadpan to everybody else. So anyways, yeah, we have some items that if you have it, only if you have that dog can you access and purchase that item from the collection. And you may say, hey, I'm not interested in that kind of stuff. Why would I buy that kind of stuff? And I'd say, hey, why are you interested in anything? Why breathe air and drink water?
Yeah. All I know is that you guys are going to clothe me for free. That's all I'm looking for, basically. It's just that you guys are going to get me a whole new wardrobe. And yeah,
for free.
For free. 100%.
Where'd you get that?
It's I don't know. Render told me, along with the Super Bowl thing. But
be careful, man. This is recorded. I mean, he could get you for libel.
Oh yeah.
So you.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna sue me after this.
Yeah, you're
100%. Yeah.
I think that I could feel it. The tingle. It's the you've been served tingle. You've got somebody that's gonna knock on your door. Just be listening. Just listening.
Oh, and you were saying like the founders deck. There's still some of those still out there, correct?
I mean, yeah. So, well, some of them still out there. basically, to clarify that, it's a deflationary collection in the sense that you get when we minted, they are NFTs that are pictures of one of 9 or 10 skateboard decks, or 11. And basically from that circulating supply, when you burn or when you want to claim that specific skateboard that has a physical skateboard that's identical to it, and there's a limited run of each or a limited supply of each, and they're only for our founders deck people, you burn your NFT, your founders deck, and it basically gets you your skateboard deck for just the cost of shipping worldwide, and you get a founders card NFT in return that has all the perks, like I said, flat discount, early access, market share program, all that stuff. And what's also really important to say too is that we are a registered company in the U.S. And we do have lawyers that we've worked with for a long time that have helped us to understand what we need to do and how we need to do it in order to be legal, because we want to be legal. And inevitably, at some point, we'll get some good regulation. In crypto, you have to, not all regulation is bad regulation. You need something for people not to be scared. You need something for people to be able to bite on and say like, all right, well, I can do this, especially the higher the risk for like bigger companies, etc. So we're very aware of like how we need to move and how we need to speak and what we need to do in order to stay good to go. So we have those perks built in to those cards. You get your physical deck, and like you said, some of them are still out there, so some haven't been burned, and there might be some listed. I'm not sure how many are listed right now. It's always been kind of a low percentage, like maybe 5 or 6.
It's very low.
Around 4 digits, I think. ADA, which is about
not bad,
6,000 Canadian and about 300 American.
No, it's not bad. No, it is definitely not. It's definitely a good kind of investment too. Will there be other decks released as well down the line?
There will be decks that are released in our seasons, not as NFTs per se.
Yeah.
But yeah, in our collections going down the line. So we'll have, we have our fall collection, and then we'll have our spring collection, and then so on and so forth. Season 1, season 2, if you will. And I'm not sure if every single one will have skate decks specifically, but they are planned. Yeah.
So I know you guys, skateboarding, I love it, right? But do you guys plan to go into like other realms as well, like maybe like snowboarding or like biking? I'm not talking about blading. I'm not talking about blading or anything like that. No one rollerblades. Yes.
Are you a Razor scooter guy?
Yeah, no, I have.
You were a BMXer, weren't you?
I don't want to hit that thing on my shins.
Yeah, that sucks, dude. I tried to skate at our get together in Houston, and I messed my shit up. I hadn't been on a skateboard in 20 years.
Yeah.
But I just did it anyways, and it was great. Totally worth it. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I see it. And no, my fragile body. No, there's just no way. My shins would have shattered.
No,
crazy.
You're all top. You're top.
Yeah.
You're
100%. 100%. So you guys are planning on going into different realms, right? Different realms of the extreme.
You're the toppiest bottom I've ever met, by the way. I just wanted to say. Sorry, I just had to get that in.
So there is a plan to go into other realms, correct?
Realms, yeah. Like we're thinking of getting into. We're going to Middle Earth. Middle Earth is really cool. I don't know. One of the universes from Marvel, whichever one's the coolest.
Yeah.
We have other realms planned for sure.
Do you have any? Do you guys are thinking about sponsoring any athletes down the line?
Yeah, we thought about that. As almost an extreme sports lifestyle brand. And back to your question about other stuff, it's like we have BMX. We have if you look at our website, it's valkry.life spelt the way that Jarek will have in the details.
I have it all pinned up. Don't worry, guys. And I'll flash it on the screen.
You can see kind of like this is an iteration of our website. You know, it's not the final iteration, but in essence, you can kind of get a snapshot of what we're planning, and the kind of scope of it. So yeah, we will have stuff like that in the future.
Okay. No. That's great. And I just kind of was curious though, because he's mentioned it, but I just kind of was, I say like, man, like what's kind of the update on that? But I know he's kind of worried about this drop, and you know, I totally 100% get that too as well. Now, I don't know how much you went in depth on the podcast, but will there be like guests on, like of course, like for instance me, or what are you guys planning to do besides just the community news? Are you planning to have like maybe other projects on Cardano? Like, what do you plan to do with that podcast?
Specifically, as of right now, as we've stated, we plan to utilize this medium to provide our bi-weekly Valkyrie updates to our community. Because again, it's like, as much as we do all these Twitter spaces, really it's information for our community, which we could do all of it in Discord. But we just like to try different things out, cater to different tools, platforms. And this is just us, you know, kind of pivoting again to be like, hey, you know, we kind of want to maybe see if we can't make this more refined and cut it together and give it some production value, and, you know, maybe tie in some of the stuff from behind the scenes, product stuff, possibly, you know, clips in the future. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, that's the plan for now, is to start doing it with our bi-weekly Valkyrie updates for our community. So yeah.
Love it. Love that you guys are doing that. And one more, like a couple more other questions though too. IRL events.
Yeah.
One, how many have you had? And two, are you planning to do some more as well?
Yeah, so we have done some, if that was part one.
Yes.
Of the question. We mentioned it earlier. We had a VIP party day, basically a day-long party, drinks and food and space on us. Come hang out, holders. We did it with DeGods, Frank DeGods, and their community. Anybody that was in the Houston area, it was on their calendar, or wanted to plan to go out, could. We had a lot of locals swing through. There's a lot of homies that are in the NFT community in Houston. We had it in Sawyer Yards alongside Meld, which was an NFT event. Sawyer Yards, I think, is like the art installation in Houston, which is cool. It was super fucking hot. It was like 115 degrees, feels like. But we had a good time. The AC worked for most of the time. Then it got hot and sweaty when Jarek started dancing. Only a few chairs got broken. No egos and no pride.
You know, and just like I said, it was a very fun event. You know, I love that you guys came down, and you know, hey, you know, the turnout wasn't what we hoped, man, but we're out there having fun. You know, it was great, and you know, kind of like, you know, Swaggins, I know that, you know, of course you can't speak for Render and everything like that though, but where do you guys like hope to be a year from now?
Where do we want to be a year from now? I'd say on integrated into the first colony on Mars. You know, as a thought, like, I think the first thing that comes to mind is, being on a different planet. I think that would be a huge value add for just humanity, really, is to ensure that those who are, you know, so far from home can still be drippy as fuck, you know, raise it up.
That's good. No, that's good. I appreciate that answer, and it was very honest answer. And I really appreciate your riveting responses. It's just been, like I said, worldly. But Swaggins, before you go,
big respect, bro. Big respect. I mean, you wore that jacket the whole fucking time. I know for a fact that you live in the desert, and that if you stepped outside right now, all that would be left of you would be your singed eyebrows. That's it.
Yeah. But I did this for you. But before you go, Swaggins,
you too.
I love you too. Hopefully I'll see you tonight in AIG. I'll see.
Oh, we're taking it, man. Hey, you know what we're gonna do tonight? What are we gonna do? It has something to do with taking something for a ride.
Oh, of course. 225. We're right on the incline. But Swaggins, before you go, is there anything else you want to say? And is there any community members or team members you want to shout out before you go?
Yeah, I want to shout out the 2011 Milwaukee Bucks. They almost had what it took to make it all the way. And shout out to Chauncey Billups. And shout out to Jarek's mom. Shout out Jarek's mom. I love you. Thanks for the bracelet. And thanks for having me on. Thanks for having us this great conversation to talk about something I'm passionate about, what I'm working on, what makes me excited, what gets my goat, what is the arugula to my salad, what is the guacamole to my bowl, what is the Chili's to my family style restaurant. So thanks to you. I want to thank the Academy for considering me for this award, and Kenny B, Skyfucker, Render, the team, the homies. Rest in peace, Zero.
Big ups.
Gone,
I'll miss
but in
him.
our hearts,
but not forgotten. Oh, that was it. That's all you had to say. That's all you had to say.
What am I supposed to? Hey,
I thought
thanks.
okay, I mean, that would have been nice, but okay. I mean, anyway, I'm kidding. All right, I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you for coming on. I will see you in the Discord, and I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap up the show, guys. If you like content like this, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Follow me on X. Follow Mongrels on X too as well, and also follow Valkry. Follow Swaggins. I'll have everything pinned down at the bottom, and I will see you guys around on the blockchain. Take care.